Hello there, thank you for watching the video and welcome back. So as usual, we're going to talk about the bigger picture. Let's look at where STI is heading. Cover a little bit on S&P 500 because it has crossed an important milestone last night. And tonight will be another crucial night to look out for. Then after that will be stocks that were highlighted. Okay, so now coming to STI, as you can see, as per my drawing, okay, so you can see here that if STI managed to rebound here, just a recap, rebound to this level, and you will expect some pullback, some struggle, then eventually we approach this resistance at 3225, then break out from there. So if we break out from there, then it will be a chance for the SCI to go to 3288. So all these depends on certain key factors, like for example, tonight CPI data is doing well. There is no any drags from the US market. Okay, so then we have a chance to see more upside, breaking out the resistance become a possibility. Now, just to recap again, last night what happened. When we look at last night, the market was bullish because there isn't any new surprises from the Fed. They were still singing the same tune. They were talking about interest rate maintaining at a high because the inflation still remain high, but they are very skeptical in increasing the rate. So that's good news for the market because there are no surprises. Market hates surprises. So STI, well, doesn't give us much surprises as well as it goes along our plans. And let's hope that today it can close at 3225 and we can see some upside tomorrow as well, despite the week is ending. S&P 500. It was a very important milestone, and I'd like to touch on it. Okay, just a little bit. Okay, so I'll just use SPY as a representation. So what is SPY? Is an ETF, S&P 500 ETF that closely follows the index. So we can see this movement is almost replica to the index. So what you can see is that in the email that I have posted daily. Okay, so starting from maybe I'll just put somewhere here. Okay, here you can see the there's a mention of head and shoulder formation, which is a topish formation. This head and shoulder is a trend reversal, meaning to say the uptrend for S&P 500 is turning into a downtrend, which it had already turned down, but it's just that to see whether it can continue to persist. So in order to negate this head and shoulder pattern, what S&P 500 must do is to cross above the neckline, break out certain resistance level. Okay, so this neckline is one of the resistance level that it needs to break. And then of course, the previous support and resistance like 4,360. Okay, and eventually fill out this gap to increase its chance to turn its trend. So tonight, if CPI data, no surprises, hitting 4,400 points and eventually continuing higher towards resistance around 4,425 points, may help S&P 500 to go into an uptrend. And the year-end rally is coming. Of course, along the way, do expect some ups and downs. So what we can see is that S&P 500, let's draw the trend line here. This neckline rather, this neckline over here has crossed above the neckline. So this is the first positive sign, and almost all the gaps has been filled up. There's some remainders. So once it continue higher, like just now I mentioned 4,500 points, then we can see more change of trend or more positive side. Okay, so the outlook of the index currently is maintain positive. So again, tonight CPI data, the inflation data is very important. So tonight CPE, then after that PCE, personal consumer expectation. So these are some of the key data that the market will be looking at. Now, looking at stocks highlighted. So if you remember, I also exclusively in the video mentioned some stocks that I didn't highlight in the email. Okay, namely AEM. So here we are looking at the some of the stocks here where highlighted. So like Singtel was expecting a higher low here, but surprises came in the market, especially over the weekend. The attack on Israel, right, spooked the market. Some of the stocks did not perform well, like for example SIA. Yeah, but what we can see is that the Singtel was sold off last Friday, because before the non-farm payroll, because for some reason the market just want to play safe. Okay, the traders wants to play safe. So let's take a look at Singtel charts and see how it performed. So when we look at Singtel, you can see here there was a strong sell-off, okay, with a high volume. So this kind of volume typically is not retailers. There are some funds, but not big funds. Why? Because if it's a huge funds, the volume will be even higher like this. Okay, so there are some funds that are selling off, as I suspected. But Singtel managed to recover its lost ground, and then now is trading at 245. So technically, we see Singtel as positive right now, especially if you see Singtel hit back this resistance at this 246, and 248, 249 will be a next target after 246 is compromised or managed to break out successfully. And overall, Singtel's trend remain, I would say, indeterminate. Okay, so unknown. Why? Because you can see overall there's no uptrend. Overall, you can see there's a huge sideway coming, right, for Singtel, and for now it's just as for trading, where you buy low, sell high, as you can follow the counter earlier, like last time when I or earlier times I highlighted Singtel over here before it break out higher and then move up to 249. So these are the times where you could, right, look for Singtel for entry. Here there's an entry point, but I did not highlight in the email because I'm very cautious this week. There's a lot of data to be announced, so I am looking at those chances that could be higher one. Okay, but then it doesn't mean that I discarded Singtel, but Singtel still remain positive for now. Okay, so the next counter that I want to cover in the email is, let's see. So you can see I talk a lot on Sembcorp Industry and highlighted Capital Land Invest. So Sembcorp Industry and iFast update. So there's a lot of updates on Sembcorp Industry. We're going to go to Sembcorp Industry. So step by step, what I want to achieve is to see whether the bullish signals pan out. So from the starting where it was falling, so I projected a target at 481. Okay, and then like I mentioned, the bullish signals, because after hitting 481, Sembcorp Industry managed to form this hammer pattern. And this hammer pattern is very crucial for Sembcorp Industry, because if it doesn't work out here, it may be a downtrend thereafter. Okay, worked out meaning that there's some follow-through buying, pushing the counter back to 505 resistance and break out from there. Then there's a chance for the counter to turn its situations around. Okay, iFast is currently consolidating, turning into sideways. Despite long-term uptrend, this counter is still struggling at resistance, especially along this uptrend line. Okay, and we will really need to see iFast hitting 602 soon, so that we can see it return back its bullish way and break up from there to go higher to even 630. So let's see the chart later. Then we have Aztec Global and Capital Land Invest. So let's look at Capital Land Invest. So you can see the update over here, the Sengkang Industries confirmation for the hammer isn't that fantastic yet. So we are still looking out for Sengkang Industries where it's going to hit to, but waiting too long to hit 505 could be a problem as well, but it doesn't mean that it's gone. So like I say, we need a lot of patience in previous video to look out for breakout and this breakdown. So break up or breakdown. So let's look at CapitaLand Invest first. So I see a doji at the major support level, and the resistance could be tested as I mentioned, and breakout above this 313 may initiate a change of trend. Okay, so this one we shall take a look later. Then we have Aztec Global. So Aztec Global, right? We see some strong buying with increased volume in this consolidation. So the weekly chart also displayed positive patterns, suggesting that if this trend continue, the stocks may be trading towards 0.905. So let's see where Aztec is heading. And SGX observe an interesting pattern. So this interesting pattern shows that every time when you pull back forms something similar to double bottom formation and break out from its recent high, it tend to go even higher. So let's see whether SGX can do this again. But SGX today is on XD, so it is giving out dividends soon. So if you are SGX shareholder, you should expect, for 1,000 share, you get $85 from SGX. 8.5 cents dividend coming your way. Next will be OCBC. OCBC has established a strong positive sign with ascending triangle. So if we can break up successfully 1298, there is a chance for it to continue higher. And there might be some ding-dongs along the waves, but eventual target is set at 1376. Now, with the situation of the market like this, if we don't have surprises from the Fed, from the the inflation data, there might be still chance for OCBC to hit this high or hit this projected target. Okay, and then we goes to CapitaLand Invest, which I provided an update over here. You can see CapitaLand Invest tested the resistance as expected. So let's see whether it can break out 313 resistance today successfully. And then a DBS update. So DBS was covered quite some time where it was here at this low. It was first at this low, and then it rebounded to hit the high of 33.97. So yesterday I mentioned that it is back at this resistance. So this become a minor resistance, and then if it can break out successfully, the next resistance to meet is 34.49. Then today we talk about SIA. So a very comprehensive chart that was shown in the email. You can see the weekly chart and the daily chart. So the weekly we have a hammer, and the daily is under consolidation. So we need this breakout to happen for SIA. And the weekly chart will get a confirmation for the hammer, and therefore may lead to more upside. Then AEM mentioned that it was the resistance. So last week, if you remember, I mentioned that these two candle pattern, this black and white candle pattern, which my finger is pointing right now, is called one white soldier. And it was in the Telegram group that I highlight extensively, updating AEM on the progress. And yesterday it hit the resistance. So I will expect the resistance at 361 to be tested again, as I mentioned in this email. Okay, so with all these stocks highlighted in the email, let's take a look at them, at their progress right now. Okay, so maybe I'll go with the top down from SIA AEM, then go to the earlier one. Okay, so let's look at SIA now. So you can see SIA under consolidation. So we have a glimmer of hope where this counter currently trading at 645, and there is a pending breakout coming in. So it's not considered as a successful breakout as yet, but the pending breakout is very important. So we want to see this counter hitting 657 soon, so that it can really go for what it is trying to show us, because we can see a long white candle here, and then the next day it actually get down and sold down, but there isn't any intention to break the white candle low, which is 638. So it held at 638 quite strongly, I would say, fairly strong. And if this turned out to be a positive movement, which means that, or a positive sign, which means that SIA would go back to 657 soon. Okay. Conversely, of course, if it breaks down 638, you know that those traders that have been supporting at 638 has given up, and they will be potentially aiming for lower prices, like for example 629, 624. AEM, a pleasant surprise from the counter as it breaks out in the morning, break away from the resistance and rally all the way now, currently trading at 658, even breaking the 361 resistance. So it break out from 346 resistance in the morning. So we call this breakaway and successful breakaway. And now it's trading at 364, 365. So for those who are into AEM, congratulations. Hopefully we can see more upside towards this major resistance at 395 soon. So again, all the factors that I mentioned, CPI, all this must come together lah. 天时地利人和. Okay, so AEM fully succeeded in our analysis. So next we are going to watch what's going to happen and then analyze accordingly. Then we have next counter. So what's the next counter that is in the email? I just need to refer DBS Kaplan Invest. Okay, so DBS. So DBS, you can see the pattern they have drawn here. This is called an uptrend channel line. Uptrend channel line. And we are looking at it breaking out from this high, which I mentioned in the email, right? This 33.96. And if it is bullish, it should go to 34.49. And then exceed this level by breaking out to hit the upper channel line, okay, to continue its uptrend. So if so, then you will go to 34.89. Okay, so this is what we expect. Again, in summary, DBS, right, the very good bullish breakout from this resistance at 33.96. Next is to hit 34.49. Then break out from there to hit the upper trend line to continue this long-term uptrend. Okay, that will be the perfect plan for DBS. Then Capital Land Invest. Capital Land Invest. Let's yes, it's in the next. So we can see an attempt to break out yesterday, but it closed back at recent level. Nevertheless, today it is above the recent level already. So as if we close at 316, there's a chance for it to go back to 324 major resistance. You can see the double bottom formation here as well. So this is a positive sign. Let's remove and go back again. Okay, so you can see here. Then we can do a projection. Okay. Then we can see the projection. Okay, so there's something that is going on with my PC, but right? This is what I want to show you. So you can see the double bottom projection just nicely hitting 324. So if nothing goes wrong, I would think 324 will be tested soon. So for those who are holding this capital and invest, right? Yeah, you can consider that level as well. Next will be OCBC. So let's see where OCBC is right now. So OCBC ascending triangle is still there. As you can plot that ascending triangle here, the line, you see the ascending triangle. Okay, this is a small one. So we have a bigger one, which involve this whole price action. Okay, so if we involve the whole price action, then we have a projected target at 1376. So if we were to just want to be cautious, don't want to be overly so-called greedy, right? Then we can aim one small target over here. And this will be around 1347. Okay, 1347, yeah, around 1350, thereabouts. Okay, so OCBC currently still looking bullish. So let's hope that we can continue there. Next will be the Aztec Global. Yes, Aztec Global, one of the proudest moment that I have today, where it was mentioned right here, and you can see Aztec Global breaking up and then hitting the next resistance, going towards our target at 90.5. Currently trading at 87.5. So if you can close at 87.5, that will be a very good closing already. So we have almost completed this analysis. So next is to look out for what will be the next movement, whether it's going to show bearish sign, etc., etc. Next, we have Sembcorp Industry. Yes, most covered counter. So Sembcorp Industry, as you can see, it's consolidating over here. So this consolidation is very important. Why? Because first of all, it can be a distribution phase. So when we talk about distribution phase, means that big players, they are selling out slowly, right? Distributing to retailers. Okay. Why do I say that? Because you look at the trading volume, it's very, very thin. So it's practically on a stealth mode. So we don't know where is it going to be. Okay. Would it be a positive sign in its so-called consolidation like Aztec? So we got to see some sign. So here, especially when we see the stocks hitting at this high over here, this candle high, most of the time, okay, so 498. So as I mentioned, right, if the resistance cannot break too many times, get tested, it may fail, okay. But if it break out from that many time tested resistance, then it will be a very bullish sign. Okay, now with this, as I mentioned earlier, 505 must be tested. If not, the counter is in danger. Okay, so this will be a test of time for Sembcorp Industry, and we shall see where it's going to break up or break down. As of now, the candles gives me some sense of positivity, and I want to see a higher closing, like for example, close at 498 to increase that probability. Okay, so we will be closely watching Sembcorp Industry. Next will be iFast. Okay, iFast. So iFast, as I mentioned, you can see it is struggling along this trend line, and today we can see some breakout. Okay, it was struggling, so we can see some breakout here, but it's still not out of the wood, because it tend to have this habit of trading lower the next day after closing above its this upper trend line. But overall, the trend, right, is still under what we call the consolidation mode. And you really need to go back to 602, as I mentioned earlier, to return back its bullish way. The projected target around 630 to 635, and currently is also positive to me. And I would like to see more trading volume here to ascertain that the stocks has a chance to continue higher. So it gives the strong sense of bullishness if the volume is higher, especially if the stocks close higher towards $6 or 602. Okay, so thank you for viewing this video. I'd like to continue more, right? Especially if you give more likes and then gives me more encouragement. And share this video if you like it. And have a good weekend ahead. Good day and goodbye.